I moved to Pittsburgh.
All right, welcome back. We continue right live on Pittsburgh.
I'll just keep on talking, Bob.
We're having a conversation. Thank you for interrupting us. Call us right now with your thoughts about the sports world as it is. We have a lot of callers, so we'll get right to it, Gene. They all want to talk something Pirate or Penguin related. Isaac in Huntington. What's up, Isaac? How are you tonight?
Yeah, I just want to talk about the electric atmosphere that Josh Bell brings to the plate, and that's really what baseball's all about. It kind of coincides with the electric atmosphere you bring to this show for 37 years. Congratulations, Bob.
Yeah, nice.
You guys have a good night.
Thanks, Isaac.
Sure.
I appreciate that. I think Josh Bell brings a lot more of that than I do, but Gene brings a lot more than both of us. So, no, but Josh Bell, it's an amazing story because we thought at the beginning of the season that this offense may be challenged, and we thought the pitching was actually going to be carrying the offense, which it did for the first month. And then everything changed radically. And Josh Bell's a big reason why, because last year we saw him really morph into what he wasn't in the first year when he was set, 26 home runs. People got charged up, thought he was going to be the next Pedro Alvarez or better. And now here he is. I mean, it's amazing what he's been able to do.
Yeah, I mean, he had an incredible May, incredible statistical May. He's headed for the first 100 RBI season by a Pirate since Alvarez. And the most impressive thing to me, Bob, is that he's done it when he was being relied on so heavily by the Pirates. He really, really had to have a good year, and he's really, really having it.
He really is. All right, we go to line 4 now. That's Tony in the Hill District. Tony, welcome to the program. How are you?
Hey, Bob. Hi, Jane. How are you?
Good.
I want to say the Penguins signed Brandon to a 6-year, $3.5 million per year. If they don't go to the playoffs or the championship, would it still be worth them paying him that type of money?
Oh, absolutely.
In the next 2 years?
Listen, he's what they needed. He's kind of a throwback to what they were in 2016 when they had guys on their team, or for that matter, 2009. Guys in the bottom third of their bottom 6 players who can actually do something other than score goals. Yeah, he could score goals. He had 14. I think he's capable of more. But what he does bring is something that Joe Starkey chronicled in the Post-Gazette and did a very nice column on it. It's a grit. It's a willingness to sacrifice the body. You can say what you want about this past Penguin team because they had a lot of skill, but what they were missing is something that they had when they did win. So I think you need some of that component, Gene, and that's what he represents. And I think there was a market for him, which is why the price went up and so did the term.
Oh, sure. And, if the Penguins do not make the playoffs, it's not going to be because of this contract. I mean, it's very – Mike Sullivan likes to say it's hard to make the playoffs in this league. Well, actually, it's harder not to make them. I think all of what Jim Rutherford has done in the offseason, I think they've all been good moves. It doesn't mean they're all going to work out, but, over the course of the 18-year hockey season, these things kind of flesh themselves out.
And the Penguins are in a situation they're trying to win now. So they're going to do whatever it takes to win now, and I think that's how they've operated for many, many years. You got to give them credit. They have a nucleus they believe still can win, and they're trying to surround it with talent that, has come and gone, but now they need something that they haven't had for the last year and a half, and I think that's a good signing. We'll see how it goes, but I like it. Line 3, it's Pete in Squirrel Hill. Pete, welcome to the program.
Hey, guys, how are you tonight?
We're good.
Hey, Bob, about the Pirate game last night, I got to tell you, I've never been a big Joe Madden fan. But you're talking about a young kid, Bob, in his second major league start. To leave that kid hanging out to dry like that, I just don't understand. What does that do to that kid mentally, maybe? He didn't have his stuff. It's obvious. Get him out of there in the second inning, and he gave up 7 hits already. And how many runs? He let him out there until he gave up, 10 hits in 8 runs in 2 in the third inning. That's horrible to do to a young kid, Bob. What do you think about that?
Well, I understood in a way because their bullpen, like a lot of bullpens, Pete, have been overused, and he needs to try to figure out a way to conserve and get innings. He was expecting more than what he got out of that kid. But it's a tough situation, Gene. The Pirates have been in it too. I mean, what do you do when you need innings and nobody goes beyond 3 innings? It's a problem.
At one point, the Cubs center fielder, was it Almora? I forget.
Hayward, I think.
Hayward walked by the Cubs bullpen and just put his hands out like, are you guys off tonight or what? It was amazing. But as Bob says, this is pandemic across baseball. Bullpens are wearing out because pitchers are only going 5 innings because they're afraid of wearing those people out, and instead they're wearing everybody else out. Joe Madden clearly wanted 3 innings out of that guy no matter what the result was.
and he didn't get it. George in Whitehall joins us right now on the hotline. Hey, George.
Hey, good evening to the both of you. Just a quick couple points.
Go ahead.
I think it's a pretty safe bet that the Pirates are never going to build a winner around Bell or with Bell through free agency. And I've heard you talk recently about they got to have better scouting and better drafting.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it may take years to tell us about this class, but I was wondering what your feeling about that is. And I may be a little biased when I tell you this, but when it came to drafting and scouting, there weren't too many better than my uncle Elmer Gray. And he's going to be Legends of Baseball for that.
That's your uncle,
okay?
Yeah. We miss Elmer. I'm sure you do, too. What a wonderful man.
Yeah, he was great.
I don't know. We'll find out. I think it's I think it's tough in any sport, but it's really tough in baseball because you're dealing with so many young kids who are still in high school, and you got to try to figure out what they're going to be like in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, the people who drafted and now will start developing these kids have no idea what's going to happen to them. So I'm not going to pretend that I have any idea.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, some of these guys mature later than you would expect them to do it, and sometimes it needs a change of scenery or two. I looked at Max Scherzer. I was watching him the other night because he had a remarkable June, Gene, where he went 6-0, had a 0.97 ERA, struck out like 68 in 45 innings, and he had a broken nose in the middle of it all, but he still kept pitching. Yeah. Did you know, though, he was first with, Arizona. They were the team that drafted him.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they got rid of him, and they put him to Detroit. And in Detroit, he did well. He got a big contract in Washington. He's been the most, I think, bargain pitcher for someone who's making over $200 million in a long-term contract. He's been out there every single start, and you know what you're going to get with him every single time.
Yeah, no, he's been amazing. There was a little noticed transaction by the Pirates over the weekend. They released Nick Franklin. Nick Franklin was drafted by the Mariners in 2009. He was picked 2 slots after Mike Trout. And here he's 28. He's probably finished. It just never happened for him.
No, it never did. One more call before we go break, and that would be Ron in the South Hills. Hey, Ron, welcome to the show.
Hey, Pomp. Hey, Gene.
Hey.
Just a quick comment. I want to get your feedback. First of all, I want to see when Gene's going to do his next comedy show. I haven't seen him on the road in a while.
You need to see him.
I know.
Thanks.
And Pomp, I wanted to ask you, or actually congratulate you. You actually both on a great career in sports in Pittsburgh.
Thanks, man.
Both,
Appreciate it very
much.
In the Post and obviously on TV. But my question is regarding the Pirates and your thoughts. If they're 2 games out, 3 games out, obviously I think they almost have to be buyers, one would think. What do you think they would need to do to get better, to improve, and to maybe make a run?
Thanks for the call. Appreciate your comments. Gene, go ahead.
They would need more pitching just like everybody else. They would need to add a starting pitcher, and it would be pretty expensive. It would depend on what it would take to get him. All those variables come into play, but that's what they need. They need another starting pitcher because Jamerson Tyone does not look like he's coming back. And if they can add a bullpen arm, that would help too. But otherwise, I don't think they need a lot.
Their bench is good right now. Their hitting is good right now. I think their bullpen finally has figured it out. Starting pitching, which is why I'm still mad that I hope they were at least interested in Keuchel. That would have not cost anything except money. You wouldn't have to worry about draft picks.
There's your problem.
Well, I understand, but they have enough of it to spend, and they should have spent it. That's my view.
But they don't.
It's not going to change. I've said it from the beginning with him, and I'm not going to change it because I think it would have helped. Looking back at the season, if they do miss by a game or 2, you might wonder what would have happened had a life raft or a life jacket been thrown out to this team when they needed it the most. We got to take a break, come back with more. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, 7 nights a week on Pittsburgh CW.
7 nights a week.